What's a good word, everyone? It's your boy DKB here. I just want to say thanks for all the support. The channel's been steadily growing, and the number you see below, you can drop a text, shoot a voicemail, any ideas, topics, collabs, etc. you guys want to see. I'll include them in future videos and live streams, and I'll catch you again. Be easy. What's a good word, Jets fans? It's your boy DKB here, and on day 3 of the 2025 NFL draft class, the New York Jets could walk away with a day 1 starter for the long term at a position of need with a skill set that either isn't there or we don't have in abundance, depending on how you feel about Jeremy Ruckert. Tight end Jackson Hawes out of Georgia Tech is exactly the answer that this new look offense is going to need, right? When you look at what this offense is going to turn into, you take everything that we know about Ben Johnson out of the equation. Overall, that Detroit Lions offense is built around an elite rushing attack, speed element, and then being able to control the flow and tempo of the game. And it just so happens they've had one of the most efficient quarterbacks in the game. But with the acquisitions that the New York Jets have made, already having Breece Hall, already having Garrett Wilson, bringing over Justin Fields, now you have the connection between him and Garrett Wilson in addition to Jeremy Ruckert. But this is an offense that is built for speed, and it should have streaks of violent tendencies to it as well. Jackson Hawes is going to fit right into everything that we're going to want to put on display there. He's not going to be the guy that walks onto the field and he's catching, 4 or 5 balls a game. And you can look at his career stats, right, overall. But even as far as the 2024 season, he only caught 16 passes for 195 yards for Georgia Tech, which in general terms, I guess, is kind of a lot considering it is a heavy rush first offense, right? You take a look at the triple option always being a huge staple of the game, RPOs, etc. for them. But this is still a guy that definitely can turn into a reliable pass catcher, for the New York Jets. He just wasn't necessarily asked often to be the answer within that offense. Everything was built around what they can do coming out of the backfield, the quarterback being implemented heavily into the run game as well. And Jackson Hawes is really the engine that allowed all of that to really take off for Georgia Tech. And one of the things that I really love is he transferred over from Yale. So this isn't even his first time really making blocking a staple of his offense. When he was with Yale, 2022, they finished first in rushing offense. 2023, they finished third. They also, coming off of being in the ACC with Georgia Tech, top 3 rushing attack, I believe. And either way, they definitely had a top 10, top 25 type rushing attack overall in college football. A lot of what their offense is going to be predicated around pre-snap shifts, motions, and then of course deploying the quarterback in the run game, right? A lot of design runs, a lot of reads that allow him to keep the ball and determine how he wants to lead the rushing attack, right? Flipping it to a running back, whatever little trickery is going to be out there in the backfield. Those are all the same sentiments and actions that I would heavily expect with New York Jets, with Justin Fields, with Tanner Engstrand calling plays out here. So this really seems like a very seamless transition for a guy that is generally walking away with the 2025 NFL draft class as the moniker of being the best blocking tight end in college football right now. So this is already music to my ears, but there's definitely a ton of numbers to back it up. Not only has he lined up a ton next to the tackle, so in line, that Y position, 65% of the time last year, he was lined up as a wide tight end, and he finished with a 74.7 Pro Football Focus run blocking grade, which was good for 5th out of all of the tight ends that were able to qualify. And he had a 71.1 PFF run blocking grade on gap runs specifically. So he should be able to do the entire gambit, right? ferocious in zone schemes, being able to get out there on the edge. And he had I believe he ran a 4.85 at the combine. So this isn't a guy that's really lacking per se in the speed department. He's also not going to be a guy though that is going to blow you away with being able to get by linebackers and safeties easily. But one of the calling cards for him is execution of being able to block. This is a guy that is always in the right place, always hitting his marker, and when he gets to whoever that man is that's in front of him, if you're talking gap scheme or somebody he's meeting in a zone run element, it's night time for those guys, and I absolutely love it, right? The throwback tight end is always a huge favorite of mine just because you know what you're getting out of this, and anything that these caliber or these type of tight ends brings to the field is just a plus, right? You're looking at these guys strictly as blocking tight ends that can maybe catch some defenses off guard when you do deploy them in the passing game, but overall, these are guys that are quietly going to go out there and just demolish defensive linemen, linebackers, safeties that want to creep up, cornerbacks if they happen to want to try to step up. And he's really kind of been a unstoppable force when it comes to being able to go out there and block. Also is going to come out and step into a huge special teams role right out of the gate. 454 snaps on special teams in 2024, in addition to picking up 9 tackles. So this is a guy that has all of the makings, again, of earning a starting role right out of the gate, giving a huge boost to being able to give space up front for Breece Hall to get creative, or at least just to be able to kind of get some steam built up before he meets contact in the backfield. And one of the other pieces is, for anybody that would have been concerned about level of competition, he's repeatedly been earmarked as a standout during Senior Bowl practices. Even had a highlight one-hand catch, for example, for those that maybe think that he's not going to be a contributor whatsoever in the receiving game. So this is one of the guys that I have definitely built up a strong love for over the last week as I've kind of dug into some of these day 3 guys. I'll go ahead and put it out there now. Don't be surprised if you see this guy creep up on one of my next mock drafts that drop at some point. But let me know what your guys' thoughts are. Jackson Hawes, Georgia Tech, elite blocking tight end, and we could pick him up potentially with one of our 2 5th-round picks. I wouldn't even mind spending the 4th rounder on him if you think that other teams are going to start jumping on recognizing who this guy is pretty early. So let's not forget as well, this could be a position that we definitely go and double dip at. I don't think that's a bad situation whatsoever. Get you a guy that's a dynamic receiving threat, pair him up with somebody like Jackson Hawes. Consider it your Braylon Allen / Isaiah Davis type situation here, which I think I'd be all for, right? Jeremy Ruckert, Stone Smart, Zach Kuntz, none of these guys should dissuade you from being able to go out and get somebody that you feel is going to be a clear upgrade at that room, especially that's going to be a pretty seamless transition or scheme fit, I should say. So, again, let me know what you guys think. Jackson Hawes, I'll catch you guys again. Peace.